Hey, what is going on, guys? We're live. Hopefully you can hear everything here. And we've got our other setup in here where we can give you guys the overhead view of what we're working on today. We'll be doing some more building on the SMT10. Looks like we're going to be doing the links and maybe getting up through the shocks. Hey, James Price, how's it going, man? Guys, let me know if the audio and everything's working all right. James is over on Facebook. We're trying this dual streaming again. So we got through all of this stuff here. The axles. Now we have to put on the front steering and our links, which I need to grab. Oh yeah, here we go. Vanquish. Got our Vanquish links here. We're going to be installing these instead of the stock lower links. So we'll be doing these stock uppers. How's it going? Let's bash RC. James says not much going on there. Everyone said sounds good. Trail Critter's in the house. Trail Critter RC. All right. So this is going to be like the last time where I'm kind of doing both videos at the same time. So I'm going to pause at times to go into the live or the non-live, I guess. And then we'll jump in and out. So yay, that'll be fun. Crud, can't take a picture. Do it with this phone. This is what I was hoping to use for my upper camera because I have another one. And it's, well, it's not charged. And this one's not upgraded enough to actually do this. So I guess let's take a zoomed in video here and call it a photo. I'm not prepared. So ill prepared. Where's my microphone? It's been a crazy weekend doing projects here at the house, doing the Kevin Talbot video, editing that, getting that up. Where is my wireless mic? I see that question here, and we'll get to this in just 1 second. How much does this stuff cost? The kit is actually a pretty good price, under $300. I think it was $229 for the kit. Give me 1 second here, guys. Where did I put that microphone? Probably someplace I thought was smart, but now I don't remember. I've been known to do this. Known to do this before. Might have to change it up. All right, one last spot to look. It is nowhere to be found. So we're gonna change direction here. I'm gonna use this microphone. Set my wireless microphone set for the main video. To make sure it's on. Looks good. All right, so what do we got here? $199 in the US. So there you go. That's what James says for us. Thank you for helping me out with that. I was a little off. $199 is a pretty good deal for the starter kit. So what we're going to try and get through today is we're going to put the links on here. Steering links. Build the servo saver. Put on actually this steering steering link here instead of the stock one. And then we're going to put in the lower arms, which we talked about here, lower links, but we're going to use the Vanquish instead of these lowers. We'll get to that as we go, and then hopefully I'll have time to get to the shocks, the D-bag. But we'll see. Time permitting, and depending on how quickly we get through the rest of this stuff. Thanks, Beetle Bailey says, do great. All right, so I'm going to pause here for a second. We're going to go ahead and do the intro of the video here. Get my drink out of the shot here. Zoom in. There we go. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to part 2 of the SMT10 Raw Builders Kit build series. We have the axles already completed here. Next to install, we have the links, steering link, the 4-link, and we're going to move on then to building the servo saver here, installing the servo, and then maybe we'll get to doing bag D, which is going to be the D bag. Is going to be the shocks. We'll see if we got time for that in this video. If not, that'll be the next video. But we've got this basic part. We've got the trusses here to put the servo on, and we have a servo. I'm just going to put a dummy servo on for now until I get the one that's supposed to go on here. But we'll get that going, show you how that all goes together. But we're actually going to be swapping out some of these parts during the build, so just be watching for that. You'll be using these stock ones unless you want to go ahead and see this video and order up some of the other parts that I've already got for mine. Which some of them I highly recommend. I always do these. They're cheap. I used to get the Hot Racing ones in black, but they only have them in colored versions right now. So I decided to try this Trio one. Basically the same idea. We'll show you that when we get to it. And then the lower links, I really like these Vanquish ones. I'm going for all black with this truck. So I got the black ones. All right, let's get to it. We're going to start with installing the Trio steering link, which is pretty cool how this works. Axial does make one as well, and sorry to say Axial, I prefer it when it's mounted here. See, I'm showing you guys and it's not showing in this camera. Be careful. Need to maybe bring this camera in a little more for you guys. There we go. I tend to be showing stuff here more often. All right. So what I do like about this is where they mount this upper part of the link. Some of them kind of stack a whole bunch of stuff here at the end. This is just simple. The Hot Racing does this as well, and I just prefer that method. No reason why exactly, but that's what I like, and that's what I've stuck with, and I've had good success with, and so we're going to give these ones a go. We'll see how they do. But these are by Trio. Just a simple metal. Feels like aluminum. And it'll mount in here real easily. They just slide right on in like so. Now we're going to be good to go. We'll just put our screws in. Go back to the directions, though. We'll show you exactly how that works. If you are building the kit, you can see here in open bag B, which we do have here, we need to open. We're going to be getting out these longer screws that they show on the side, what we need to be able to build this, as well as some of these little hex nuts that they've got in here. No, what are these called? These have the hex nuts. These are like spacer, I guess, in here. What do you guys call these right here? These little guys that go in. I don't actually know the name of them. Believe it or not, I've never named them. Or not named them, but never called them by name. Good old Cal RC mat's going to hold all my screws right where I put them. Bag B, opened up. What's going on, JMRCs? John Martin. Yeah, so what do you guys call these little guys here that would go in? into the links. Push through like so. Just pop into place. So that's what you would be using. However, mine already come with them installed, so I don't even need to do it. They've got metal ones. So we're good to go. Pivot balls. That's what they are. Thank you, Trail Critter RC. So yeah, you have to put in the pivot balls if you're doing the stock one here. You got pivot balls that go in, 4 of them, in order to install it with the screws and then mounting them in here. So I still need to use these AXA 118 screws and the hex nuts to hold this in place, but I'm not going to be using the rest. So looks like it's the medium size. There's 3 different sizes in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and start putting these through like so. Just get them in place. I can get the 2 different steering knuckles lined up, and then we'll finish it off with the hex nut. Now these are pretty beefy, but there is a little bit of flex, which could be good for the monster trucks. I got away from these when I was doing crawling. I didn't like having that flex when I really was trying to get the torque out of the steering servo on the rocks. And so I've just kind of moved that way forward. Now I just like the look of the metal ones. Just clean and simple. I don't know what you guys think. I like the shine of it. Just nice and simple. So that's kind of what I've moved over to using. There you go, genius. Just flipped it over and one of them fell out. So all that hard work that I just put in was for nothing. What a waste of time. All right. There you go. Get these both in here. Get the nuts on. And these are locking nuts, so I'm not going to actually put thread lock on. They've got the nylon in them. Not really necessary for me. Might be necessary for you. I don't know where my little wrench is. We're going to use our needle nose. Jay Rambo says it wasn't a waste if you learned something. Hey, Riff Raffs RC, welcome. We're going to be, I think, getting through this stuff pretty quick, unless I totally noob all of it. I've been known to do that. You know, I've done this many, many times. I can still newbie out on this stuff. See, I wish I had the wrench. It wouldn't have. Sometimes you just got to take the time to find the pieces that you need. This is the tool I needed. Right here. Wouldn't have scratched off the black paint on that. All right, so that was simple. You guys will have a few more steps with the pivot balls and that in order to get yours, or you can just go ahead and order one of these. I'll put a link down in the description below for this. And what I am going to probably do is I am going to back this out, though. And we're going to add thread lock on it, just in case somebody didn't do it. Because this is going into metal. And it doesn't look like they had. So win-win on that choice. Made a good decision right there, right? Hey, JP Slayer Racing. Sometimes we think things through. Uh-oh. Guess who might be out of thread lock? This guy. Oh, yeah, that one's empty. Do I have more upstairs? That is the question. God. Such miscellaneous items. Ah, here we go. This is not chapstick. It looks like chapstick. in many ways. Even when you take off the top, it still looks like it'd be chap. No. And don't give it to your kids as chapstick either. Even if you're mad at them. If you're coronavirus lock-in mad at them. You're quarantine upset with them. Fog City's in the house. I actually got a Fog City RC sticker. Where's my finger pointing? Right there. Added some new ones here. Baxter Boys new ones. Net Cruiser. Over there, I've got some other new ones. Stickering out the desk. All right. So that was easy. Now we're going to move on to our links. Again, I'll show you guys the directions that you have to do, which are a little bit more complex than mine. But again, you have to get the pivot balls out, and you're going to be getting these screws that they're putting through. I guess those support screws with the pivot balls in there. But I don't know why, because that's not where the shocks go. I think it's just to add support where it's separated here. You're going to put the pivot ball in just to maybe keep that from crumpling. I don't know. They have a reason, I'm sure. But we're not going to be doing that for this particular build because we're going to be doing the Vanquish goodies that are right here. And these are an interesting product. RC Voodoo, need to get your sticker on there. You might be under my computer over here. RC Intro, Fern Solo. I think yours might be on the downstairs then. Let's see if I've got any of them over here. Doesn't look like it. I might have put it in my other work area. I've got stickers here and I've got stickers downstairs. I think you sent me some. All right, so what we're going to be doing is, it looks like we're going to be doing the rear axles first. So move this one out. Nope, they're doing the front ones first. We'll follow directions this time. Don't know if I ever sent one. I thought I have an RC Voodoo one. I could be misinformed. All right, so Vanquish ones. So let's look at their directions. These are probably some of my favorites. It's so simple. Basically, this pivot ball gets clamped into place using this positioning clamp, which is super slick. And then you Loctite this set screw to tighten the pivot ball and hold it in place. Pretty clever. So you don't tighten that one all the way until you get that pivot ball in. We'll show you. It doesn't actually snap in. It actually locks in place. These Milwaukee knives, I stopped carrying a regular pocket knife because this thing is the coolest ever. And whenever it gets dull, one, you can flip to the other side, which I've already done with this particular one. But I just carry this all the time. Or this one. This one actually looks like it has a better blade. Oh, wait. Or this one. I do lose them as well, like my microphone. And so I can't stand to be apart from them. So I buy more. Shoot. Speaking of losing. Okay, here we go. Two things. I'm keeping track of things. Don't worry. All right. Let's use this nice little piece that we've got right here of our cow RC mat. Let's build some stuff. All right. So we got thread lock, which we need. We got these pieces all here that we're going to go ahead and cut right on out. Guys, tell Josh over at Harley Designs that I'm a big fan of the Vanquish trailing arms. He probably wouldn't care, but you can tell him anyway. All right. I'm in a mood. In a mood today. So these, gotta find the right one. They are directional. It's just gonna slide in like so. And we're gonna put some blue thread lock onto this screw. Tiny little screw. Tap that in there. And then we're gonna use the little grub screw here to position it and tighten it in place. You'll see in a second. It's pretty cool. So, luckily, I'm going to be getting blue Loctite all over myself. One of the tricks I usually do is I just take an old bag like this one, and I just put some on it. Ooh, this one's feeling low too. And then I just have to use one of my tools like this to just run it through it. Oh, shoot, I dropped it in there, of course. So I'm getting on my fingers regardless tonight. I wanted to wear that blue Loctite. So we're only going to do it lightly because what it's going to do is it's going to rocker this thing in when we put this little guy in there, which might be a different size. Yeah, 1.5. Which last live stream, guys, you guys owe me. I lost my 1.5 that goes into my power drills, and I blame you guys. Just because I can. RC just got his email in his about section. So as we push up on this, it slides that forward, tightening that down. Do it until it's in place without any slops. So that feels pretty good. And then you go back and you finish. So then you go back and you finish tightening down this set screw to hold it. Hold it right where you put it with that. And that is how it's done. Amazing. And we got to do it for the front one too. So what are you guys up to? How was your Monday? So we've got 4 of these that we're going to do total. I'm just going to show you the one, and the rest of them are put together the same way. No need to see it. Stop recording this so I don't waste a whole bunch of juices. Not memory cards. Fog City, how long have I been doing YouTube? I think 5 years now. I want to say I started at the end of 2014, beginning of 2015. Like literally, I opened the page on December 29th, I think 2014, but I didn't actually post my first video until 2015, January. So 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019. So yeah, 5 years. I think. Does that sound right? It should say in my about over there. It says when they started. Riff Raff's got to blame somebody. Show Critter says can't blame him. He wasn't here. All right, I'll give you that. No slop. There it is. These are really, really nice arms. Got 3 mounting places to put your shock. If you want to run shocks in them, I do. Just handles better, in my opinion. Although Mikey Vaughters had his handling pretty awesome there for that Kevin Talbot competition with his on the axles. Looking all scaled out, tricked it out. Anybody see if I was right? Sunday was better. Why was Sunday better? Riff Raff said he just woke up a few hours ago. JMRC, why was Sunday better? Because did you have to work today? I had to work today. James Sockrider, am I going to put Venom Power to that? Yeah, man, I got tons of Venom Power for it. Lots of 3S goodness going through this thing. So Fog Suit says, yeah, end of year 2014. So, yeah, 5 years. Well, so 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, all through end of 19. So just over 5 years. 29th of December. Yeah, I was right. 2014. I thought it was. Luke Cray, what's going on? Yeah, that was a fun competition that Talbot put together. I enjoyed it. I love monster trucks, so thought I'd do something a little bit different. I also thought that we had to have pretty small areas. So the only problem with mine is that you couldn't get it to roll back over. The SMT10, if you get it on the lid, if you've got it powered enough, it won't stay on the lid. You can get it back on those wheels. But so you'd almost never have to worry about that penalty. So once I rolled over the one time, I knew I had to kind of go easy. And then I didn't expect that jump to break away. I'd hit it several times testing it to make sure it was going to work, and it held and did backflips great. And I've used that for doing backflips before in the past. So I was a little bit shocked when it broke free like that, but that pollen was not messing around. It was sticking into everything, coating the ground. Still is really bad out there. All right, so voted mine is most entertaining. I think the winners that won should have won. I think that most entertaining, I really enjoyed Medic and Gem. They were hilarious. Some of my after stuff was, I guess, okay entertaining, but I thought that they, as far as being entertaining during their run, during that 2 minutes, were super entertaining. And I thought that Mikey had a really great run. I was hoping to be able to pull out some of my two-wheel stuff, but once I crashed, that my idea was to go to like a two-wheel and then basically nose pick it is what I call it. So if you're going across on two wheels, side like this, you hit the brake and turn in and stand it up like this for a second and gas it out. Can't really moonwalk these things because they just roll too easy, but you can get it to do that. And I was practicing that just not before I even built the course, and I tightened down my spur gear for that, and that's when I messed it up, and that's why it was all grindy sounding. Was I jacked it up when I was trying to get that move perfected a little bit, so that I knew I had somewhat of a chance of hitting it. So I hadn't done it in a couple months, really. I'd driven that truck, but I hadn't done the move. And it handles way different than the HL150, how I have it set up now. Way different. Bruce, man, hope your foot gets better. So he's joining from the hospital bed. Luke Ray says they're going to give it another go. Maybe this time with four-wheel steer. Yeah, that'll help you out for sure. I chose this one because it has a really tight turning. Plus, it just does stunt stuff really cool. Like, it bounces weird. It gets up on the front end and rolls, like, endo wheelies, and it's just super cool. Casey says, today was great. Went to work like normal. When I got off, I went and got my first crawler. That's cool, man. ECX Barrage Gen 2. That thing is awesome. Very cool, Casey. RC Funds Diversion, what is up? Yeah, I definitely want to do more of those. Clay Morgan, do you think 4S is too much for crawlers? No, I crawled with a buddy who used 4S and everything. He just geared it so that it wouldn't be for speed. Gave him so much power. James Sockrider, what electronics are you putting in it? It's going to have a Castle system, and it's right over here. I never remember the numbers on it. It's a Sidewinder 4 system, which is what I run in all of mine. And so Sidewinder 4. But what's different about this one is instead of the 4600, I went with the 5700 kV. So that's all shining light on it. But yeah, I went with the 5700 kV Sidewinder 4. It is not censored, but I'm just going fast anyway. So some people like it censored. I'm just going to pull the throttle. I don't need the low end. Like, it's not going to cog because I'm never going to be driving it slow. Guess you get a little bit more precision, but when you're slipping around on dirt, you know, whatever. I'm probably better when it's not as precise anyway. That's what I like about the dirt. I like them slipping and sliding. Fogar City said he entered the one that he opened up for everyone. That's cool, man. Maybe I'll enter again. So what happened, I can explain to you guys since it in the video, I kind of threw it in there. I wasn't trying to hide anything or whatever. But when that one truck decided to go, that was literally my first run with it. I was taking a video of it to show somebody what I was planning to do. And I realized, you know, that it was clicking. I better just go for it. And so I videoed it and, you know, but I was planning to bring all that stuff out and set it up like Monster Jam, but it was just not working great. So I just went with my first run. And then, but at the time I was thinking I was going to try and do a different truck that was working better. And I just didn't like them. I mean, some of them were more entertaining and I filled the full 2 minutes with some crazy stuff, but I just like the scale aspect of that little truck doing the, you know, bouncing around. I just enjoyed that setup of the track better. I wish I'd had all the trucks out there at that time, but it was literally like I set it up on my lunch break really quick. And then I did the video at the very end of it and of my lunch. And then I went in, and when I got off work, I went back out and I had my boys help me bring all the trucks out because I wanted to set up like Monster Jam where the boundaries were the trucks. And yeah, but I just wanted to run that B50. Wait a second. Oh, I have one more to do. I was like, how is that happening? What's going on, Troy? So yeah, so in the video, you heard me, and I actually did 2 runs with the SMT10, maybe 3. I just kept thinking I could do a better one, and they all ended up being about the same. They just are jumps, just jumping and being out of control. It wasn't like the other truck, which is kind of like I was calling out what I wanted to do. The SMT10 is just kind of like power out, baby, which is what's so cool about these things. But yeah, I had some carnage, broke the axle, which I still have to fix. Did I get the freestyle steering upgrade for the B50? Sure did, man. It's amazing. It is amazing. That was the last time I drove that truck, is when I showed it in that video with this freestyle steering. So that was part of it, is I hadn't really done a whole lot of the two-wheel stuff with that steering servo on and the more precision. And so I was wanting to try and get a feel for it. But yeah, we have a lot of monster trucks here. We have a lot of fun with them. I have a lot of fun with them. My boys really like these Axial Can-Ams, I think, the best. A little bit slower, easier to control. One of my favorites. I like them too right now. I like speed and I like big air, but kind of in that like really controlled slow when you're racing and we're all running the same stock thing. It's really fun. Troy, what electronics am I running? Sidewinder Castle Creations Sidewinder 4 with the 5700 kV. I know a lot of people run the 5700 kV motors. That's why I decided to try it. Being a basher, I almost always did the 4600. But a lot of the guys run 2S stuff too. And I decided to try something different. So we're going 5700. And it can handle 3S for the short runs that we're doing. Christian Espinosa, how do you do four-wheel steering? Basically, you do 2 front axles, but put one in the rear. Changing, of course, the location direction of the differential inside so that they drive the same direction when hooked up. But yeah, servo mount on both of them, and then in your controller you have to set up the steering. So you need a receiver that'll power 2 servos independently. And the way that I do it for 4-steer is I put it on a trigger so that I push it on or off. I don't have it so that it's always 4-steer. Forward will turn it to the right. Backward will make them so that I turn to the left. And then it's just literally when you hit the switch, it goes full. So I turn down what's full rear steer. I don't want full turn out of it. I usually turn down to like 70% or so. So it's just a little bit of steering, but it's instant on to. But you can turn down the rate to it, which it does it. So if you just want to tap it, it'll just give you little bits. Anyway, that's how I do it. Kevin Talbot has his setup kind of similar, I think, on his. It's definitely on that same button that I use on my Cloudbusters. That's all I run 4-steer on is my Cloudbusters. JMRCs think Mikey limiters helped him. They definitely helped him some, for sure. I mean, mine's limited just because I have short shocks on it. I have the short Proline / shocks on it. But I also have front and rear sway bars, which you didn't have, which is where the limiters did come in and help, because of the lack of the sway, the limiters, or the sway bars. The limiters helped. But 3S is not too much for these at all. You just have to be controlled with it. When you need it, though, it's awesome. Trash Can Ninja, am I excited for Arma's new release this year? Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is. I'm guessing, like many people, that it's another big one. The tease in the last video would make me think that. That's the only information I have to go on. So, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm always excited for any new releases for what it's going to be like. And some of these I did too tight now. It feels like I don't have enough play on that. I want to have a little more. Back it out just a little bit. That's too much soft. So Bruce has a question. Got a freestyle ZRD cageless. Would the SW4 be good for that truck? In mine, I did the bigger one. Like the 8-scale motor in mine. Michael Lucre, loving V2 Vids channel. Me too, man. So, I mean, you could do it in there, Bruce. I went bigger in mine with the larger system by Castle. Can't think of the name of what they call it, but and that one is censored in the that I have in that one. And I run it on 3S with the bigger system. 3S, and I do that is tight. Whenever I cinch it down, it goes a little tighter than what it was when I hadn't cinched it. Yeah, so he's saying at 1/8 with a 550 motor. That's what I have in mine, is a big one like that. James Price says this is overkill. Yeah, man, you've got a killer system in yours. Very killer system. But I actually did mine on 4S last time. I need a bigger pinion because I only need to do 3S. But I don't get enough speed on 3S. So I need a bigger pinion. All right, so now we got install time. Back to the video here. Yeah, James, I'd like to see what Forrest does on his. No joke. With his pinion and set up his motor. Be killer. Probably would break a whole bunch of parts straight away. All right. Okay, guys, so I just finished installing all the different pieces on these Vanquish links. They're ready to go for the lowers on here. Now what we need to do is we need to prep the uppers, and that is going to require us doing the pivot balls out of here and inserting them into each of these. So that is the next step. Get two of them out. So this one is going to go on this outside. Because of the bend here, it's going to be for the front one. It'll go like so down to arm. So I'm going to put these so that the larger side is on the outside, facing out of the truck. Where are my needle nose when you need them? New comments. All right, so just going to clamp these in. Go. I'm going to match the other one. Like so. There we go. So that'll go, again, in axles, sitting like this. These will go in here and then come out to the outside. And I have the larger part of that pillow ball here on the outside. Pivot ball, not pillow ball, pivot ball. All right, cruising. See you, man. Dominic Kaczynski. Are you going to use different springs on the shocks than what comes with? Probably not. What I do usually, though, is I put the front shocks in the rear and the rear shocks in the front. But for the stock shocks, yeah, I'm just going to use the stock springs. All right, so this is going to be this way. Same deal. Putting the larger part of this pivot ball on the outside. Doesn't look like I'll get to the shocks. It's taking longer than I expected to do this. Those Vanquish ones set me back. It would have been faster to just pop in pivot balls. Those are ready. Like, okay, am I assuming that the SMT kit has a few additional upgrades? Nope. Nope, it does not have any additional upgrades. It should have. It should have had the links. In my opinion, it should have had the not links, the front sway bars. But they were more interested in keeping costs down for it because people do so many custom upgrades for theirs. And I would say, well, why didn't they put metal links in either? Like, that would have been a cool upgrade for a kit. Make it still $300 like the Ready to Run, but have metal links and stuff like that. The problem is that people don't necessarily want to run this wheelbase, and so they don't want to pay for that upgrade either. So it really makes sense, in my opinion, what they chose to do here, which was to keep it bare bones and let people have the chassis, axle, stuff like that are the really important parts. I keep the upper links. I haven't really ever messed up the upper links, but the lowers, I crumple them all the time. I've got a whole box of them where they've been crushed. But that's because I jump really big and land really bad, but it kind of waves in right here, kind of bows in when it crumples. I say crumple. I don't know what the real word would be. Going on, Bucks RC World. Alrighty, guys. So now it's the easy part. We just put them in. So we're still in the fronts. Easy enough. What we want is we want to put the wider parts of the lower links, like so, toward the axle. Way too much stuff all in here. So here's where we are. We're going to be putting the long screw through to hold the uppers. I'm going to start with the lower so those aren't dangling in my way. We'll get the lower ones in really quick. They thread right in to the plastic. So all you need is the little screw. And then we'll use the nylon nut up here for the longer screw. Pretty simple. Straightforward. I drive them. Yeah, I sure do drive them. So it goes in the lower hole here. There's two holes. You're going to use the lower one. Gonna get my 2mm wrench going here. Get this thread started. Put the link in. And then I'm going to just drive it the rest of the way through with power this time. Ooh. Snug. There it is. First one done. 4 more to go. Plus the uppers. Troy's Hobby says he did the KT Kevin Talbot challenge for fun on his channel. Whichever truck gets the most votes in comments will get entered officially. Cool. So you did it with a couple trucks then? And we just need to go and vote for your truck that you will then enter in the challenge. Am I reading that correctly? What's up, Brandon? Voodoo, Axiomatic. Axio, how is your truck doing? You've got a pretty baller one. All right, so now we got the long screw, and it's going to go through and hold these in place. Now, as you can see, the setup is it's going to mount to the outside of the cage. So you need the angle to be going away like so. This is going to push through. Other one. And then the bend goes toward the middle of the chassis and up. I'm going to paint. That question is for me. No. I have stickered bodies already for it. You know what? I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to do this way. Because it's easier to get this in here than it is with the center part of the axle here. So I can put my little wrench in here. So I think this is a 2.5. It looks like a bigger hex. Trash Can Ninja, why doesn't Traxxas have a Monster Jam truck? Well, the reason for that is they lost their license with Feld to have an actual Monster Jam truck. They've gone to Bigfoot, but they still don't have solid axle yet. Something we keep asking for. All right, so this axle, as far as the instructions go right now, is complete. Let's see how it's going to look. We're going to do the other one, which is the same process, so we're not going to really record that. We'll be back right after I finish doing that. All right, turn this off. How's it going, Gary? Go ahead and work this in real quick. Would you guys believe that I put this one in upside down? Because I totally did. Somebody's going to notice, too. They're going to be watching and be like, he put in that link upside down. People are like that. You guys aren't, so you totally didn't catch it. I get it. It's contrasty for you. Can't see. Now it looks right. Now we're talking. Hey, Gary, I'm going to have to ask you some questions. So my Primal RC now drives steering left. And I need to get that fixed. Is my best bet going to be to just remove all of the servo horns from the servos, get them centered up again, and then just reattach them? I don't know how they slipped, but I did something. That one I did the right way, guys. Yay me. They have an X-Max monster truck trash can. Roman Atwood has it on his channel. Oh, they do have real monster trucks. They used to have a show that they'd run that had Scully and all their different ones that they had. Kind of like what happened with Hot Wheels. Once they lost their licensing, Hot Wheels went and started their own monster truck racing with Bigfoot and them in it, which I think they might be getting some lawsuits going with Feld. I don't know if it's over the toys because they kept some of the shapes of the bodies but renamed them. I don't know. But they were trying to start their own thing because guess what? Monster trucks sell. Travis Paul, did I tear the Primal shock down yet? No. I ordered 2 new ones and I ordered 2 new shafts. So what I'm going to do is fix it with new shafts or put new shocks on. And then I will work on fixing that one later. But I am going to take it apart. I think I'm going to drill out the the piston in it, because it's just, that thing shouldn't bend. It's just not compressing at all when it's landing at all. Like, the shocks work when you drive. You can see it sit back. When it brakes, it sits forward and turns, you know, but it does not. When all four hit at one time, they do not compress at all. Michael Lucre is such a punk, asking about how awesome the you're a punk, dude. How awesome the four-wheel steer kit is on it. I've been trying to get one, and they're sold out. And would you believe it, he has one, but it doesn't make any sense to ship it here. He already paid to get it shipped there. He said I could come and get it from him, which isn't going to happen in the current climate, right? So he's trying to seem like he's nice and thoughtful, but he's really not. He knows he gets to hold on to it. I also don't know that I want to build it either. Cone Emmons, what am I building? I'm building a Axial SMT10 raw builder's kit monster truck chassis, and then you can see it's going to be kind of like this underneath the cage. A pretty baller. So these are all extra screws for me now. Sweet. Put those in my little box. Spare parts. Foundry says, I bet plane tickets are cheap. They probably would cancel the flight because there's nobody on it. A long flight to get to Australia. Michael, the rear steering kit is $500. Yep. JMRCs, I did bend the shock shaft. Dominic, your wrestler steering a little angle when I'm driving straight. That you can adjust with the steering trim. Vasquez, Jonathan, what broke on the Primal? Nothing broke except the shock shaft bent. Foundry says I adjusted all my linkage all the way in and it was still going to the left. Yeah, mine drove pretty straight until I crashed. I didn't crash. I kind of hit several times on the front end. Kind of messed it up. RC Migs channel. What did I choose? I chose the Son of a Digger Fire, and I chose Megalodon Fire bodies. So I will more than likely run the Son of a Digger one because it's going to be more flexible. And at some races, I'll probably run the Megalodon one. But it's 3D printed. And I don't know that it's going to be as durable. I guess I'll find out in those races. So what's the code to save on Vanquish arms? I don't know. I don't have one. They were $45 each, I think, for two. I think it was $90 for the arms total, which kind of sucks, but they're durable. And this is going to be like a bit of a show truck in some ways. Vanquish or Vasquez, did you end up selling any of your RCs to get your Primal? I sold my X-Max, and that was more for room in the garage. I sold an SMT10. Gravedigger is a ready to run. I had two of the new ready to runs, but I think that's all I sold. All right, so next steps. Let's get on it. So I did not sell enough, if you ask my wife. All righty, guys, so we have both of them now assembled. You can kind of get the idea of the lay of the land. Like so. We'll put our transmission plate right here, and we'll build off of that. But yeah, that's the basic idea of this. Now we have to install. The next step is going to be putting our servo mount and bracket on here, and then putting on our servo as well. So we're going to get to that right now. All right, so this part's pretty easy, it looks like. I don't know why they gave us 2 of these. Oh, if you want to do rear steer. So we're going to use one of them. And if you look at it, there's a lip here on the front, and that actually is going to go to the front, if I can read directions properly. That's what it looks like to me. But before that, we're supposed to build this. But let's just go ahead and get this on there. We're going to go out of order again, guys, because we can, if we have those screws. Where do we have those screws? I thought I had extra leftover from last time. Cool, cool, cool. No, bag C. That's our plastics bag. We should have had leftover. We should have had some leftover parts. What have I done? What do my neighbors say about my Primal? They say that I have more toys than they do. One of them. He's got a lot of toys. They don't say anything. They come out and watch me drive it. No issues. So, what did I do? Because there was actual... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. When I repaired my Sen, did I put those pieces in with the Sen? When you do something stupid... Oh, this isn't going to help me out. This doesn't have the right recessed pieces. I have my screw loose hardware kit here, but I have the button heads. No, I have the button heads. I don't have the stupid. What do these screws look like? Are they threaded? If they are, good. They're not coarse threaded. Of course they aren't. Of course. Hey, thanks to Red RC for jumping on real fast. Axiomatic runs Nitro. I saw somebody ask about running Nitro. I don't ever run Nitro. The stock Primal isn't super loud. My kids think it is. The 80cc is insanely awesome. I will be right back. I'm going to go see if I can find where I put that screw kit. I think over there. Don't mind me, it's just looking through part bags. Oh, No, we do need bag C. I didn't do anything stupid. It's in bag C, which is why we don't skip and go out of order. This is why we do things the way that it says to in the manual, guys. Will I ever learn? Probably not. Probably not. Josh Rhodes is in the house. Says his neighbors look at him weird when he's out running. Yeah. Especially when it's just me. See the tank? Oh, he's just getting on. I should go to bed. I should. But I was up here working on work stuff late. Fell asleep in my chair, and when I woke up, I was like feeling a little energized. So, but you know what? I'll do this build. Get to the next stage is done, because otherwise I won't get stuff done. It's kind of what's happening. I need some room on my table again. So losing screws, I did not actually end up losing screws. I'm just an idiot who doesn't follow directions. Alrighty, guys, we're going to move on to the next part, which requires us to open bag C, which has the hardware we need to install the servo and the parts for the servo saver and the servo itself. I'll show you here in the manual. I was trying to skip steps because that's what I do, and I was looking for missing parts, but they are in bag C, which is all of our servo saver stuff, as well as those screws that we needed to do this next part, which I was going to skip ahead to do, which was just to put this little brace on. I don't know why I need to skip ahead, so let's not skip ahead. Let's do things in order. Okay? So basically, you've got a whole bunch of these little rings here that we're going to be putting together in order to make our servo saver. So you've got your metal silver ones that go on the outside. Got a copper one that's going to kind of go in the middle. Get these to... That's the wrong order. I've got a black one. This isn't going as planned. I hate these things anyway. I do have my favorite ones on order from Freestyle RC, so I'll be getting those. Those are what I really want to run on here. So there's two silver ones that are the same size, so you've got to get one to fit over the other. It just means stretching it on. And they're going to put the copper one in the middle, and then there's a black one here. My copper one was already kind of seated in there, so I just left it. There it is. You guys can see. Got a bunch of them rings that are just stacked up. Lastly, we're going to put this little kind of locking one in the middle here, which we can probably... Okay, there it goes. Just going to use pliers, but doesn't even need them. So that is all built up. Now we need to get the plastic parts. Come in this bag here, which were in our original plastic. And we just have to build, and that's going to be based on this piece first. A little plastic insert that goes there. You guys aren't going to hardly see this. These things are a little bit of work. There's a metal washer that's going to go inside of here, which came with our screw kit in bag C. That we're just going to drop right in there, as you can see. Then we're going to take our middle guy, put it onto this plastic piece, and it's got a little section here that's going to click onto. Just not happy about getting on there. also trying to spread it. There it went. So that way it'd be to kind of push it upward. Place. Second. We have to choose based on. All right, before I keep going, guys, this part is kind of critical because we do have to choose the right number on here based on what tooth our servo is. I think I have a 25 tooth. So before I go jamming on the wrong one, I do have a 25 tooth, and I just stuck it on a 23 tooth one. Let's go down Icon RCs. All right, so we're going to go. So this is the right one. And now we get to rebuild. All right, so you got to choose the right one of these. They got numbers on them. And a lot of these servos are 25 tooth on here, which mine is. So I make sure I grab the one that's 25 tooth, and I'm going to put this onto here, as well as the one of these that I want to use, which is going to be the short one, I think. This thing's a pain in the butt. Trash Can Ninja, have I ever been noticed out in public? Nah. Maybe at my local hobby shop. People be like, oh, hey, are you that guy that's on YouTube? But I mean, that's the most. It's not really a get noticed kind of thing. And even then, it's not like a big deal. It's like, oh, you waste a lot of time making videos for YouTube? Yeah, this thing, it's not the easiest thing I've ever assembled. Josh Rhodes, yes, you have, by me at Horizon Fest. Yeah. But I recognize you too. I mean, because a lot of us see each other on Facebook too. Come on, thingy. Just go in your home. Doesn't want to go in its home. Yeah, what Josh says. Isaac Cancrum, yeah, what Josh said. Josh might have been the only person that recognized me at Horizon Fest. Anybody have any tips for getting this silly thing on here? Am I doing it? Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I should start with the other one going on first. Now it doesn't want to come off. But I don't ever use these things. I just wish I had the Freestyle RC one. Just get the Freestyle RC one. Get it ordered. All right, we're going to put it in this first. See if that'll help. Oh, that's a much easier fit. All right, so putting it on to this guy first will help us. So you can choose this based on how many tooth your pinion is. And this should line up. Travis Paul, I know a guy. I talked to him about it. There was none that said they were available on the site. If you guys want to struggle through this and use this, that's one thing. Part of me says, don't. Just kind of get them not put together and just jam it. Force itself. Not lately, you're not, Mr. Freestyle Champ. Oh no, I'm behind Josh and everything. It's very keen. Trying to force it together. I get that this is supposed to have some tension to it to save your stinking servo. Love the hat. I know, I love this hat too. It's I don't like all the like crazy overly colorful with flames on the brim Gravedigger hats. This is the only one that I really wanted to wear, and now I can't get it again. They don't have any more of them. Like I'm more of a minimalist when it comes to design elements. So I don't like necessarily some of the over-the-top stuff. I think it's over the top. Other people may not. Not trying to step on anybody's toes if they do like it. There. My goodness. I don't know what happened, but it finally just worked. So I guess just have patience and know that it is not easy. still isn't right. I'm following the directions as they show it here. I think we're just going to try and cinch it down and see what happens, if it'll help us out. So we're going to rebuild it here and try and screw it onto our servo. Because, you know, forcing things always works. Take it from me. Force everything. Now, later on, I will go ahead and I will center all of this properly. It still isn't all the way together. This piece is frustrating as all get out. Has anybody had to do one of these? What are you guys' experiences? It will not seat this guy onto this guy. You can see how it has that raised little piece there at the bottom. Ooh. Maybe here it's better. It's lip right there. It's got to go into this little piece here. And it does not want to do it. I used to. All right, so what I would do is I would get one of these servo savers right here. It's a KP, Kimbrough servo saver. These things are awesome, right? This thing is really frustrating to put together. This is only like $5, $8, already assembled. And this is just a good item to put in. So what I would do is I would go ahead and I would just pick up one of these. If you can't get yourself a freestyle RC one, this Kimbrough KP right here, number 121, Servo Saver Large, 23, 24, 25 spline. This is the way to go. And when in doubt, just have one sitting on the side of your bench. So we know that my servo is going to be a 25 tooth. Am I right or am I right? So these are gonna just fit. We'll find out. That one felt pretty good. She's the one. Look at that. How easy was that installation? Bam. Let's take our unbearably long screw and we're going to put that in here. The little thread lock later. For now, we're just going to put it in there. So bag C is good for the screws that you need to mount the rest of the kit up. And get yourself a decent servo saver or servo horn. Sorry, Axial. That jank ain't happening. Not tonight. All right, so we're going to move right on and install our servo, not with that saver on it, because we could not get it to fit together. It says this to this to this into there, and that did not work. Oh, I used the wrong. They wanted me to use a different one. I have a parts wall like RC Sparks. I have a parts floor. It's kind of like what they've got, but not nearly as impressive. What is that? I know they've got like some. I do have like a bead board that has like some batteries, different parts and screws for axial stuff, or not axial, for ARMA stuff. I have part bins and I have part bags. Is what I have. So I have bins for like. Well, for these trucks, I have a huge setup of stuff, and then I have screw kits and all that. But yeah, I don't have quite what they have. They have really impressive stuff. So this, I'm gonna give it the good old mash it and see what happens here, guys. It still ain't going together. It's like I hate you. I hate you so much right now. I'm like, same. Oh, that was it. Kind of. Something clicked. There was a click there. And it's seated. So there, if you really want to go for it, you can really mash it together with needle nose pliers. So what do you guys say? Do I go with the Kimbrough or do I go with the Axial one? See Axial? Oh, I think it got a buzz, like leave. Now that I got it together, what do I do? Axial one, says Dominic. All right. I can save this Kimbrough one for something else. Let's put it in a Ziploc baggie and throw it back in my tool bag. All righty, guys. So following the directions, you can get this thing kind of lined up, and then I just really had to go at it with needle nose pliers, squeezing it hard to finally get this thing kind of seated properly. Now we're going to go ahead and build out the rest of this, and we're going to kind of temporarily install it on our servo. But until we get our servo on our truck and hooked up to power, we won't be able to actually center it. So I'm not going to go ahead and Loctite or anything like that. Washer just fell out of my hand. See all the fun stuff that goes on behind the scenes of making a video? Centering is overrated, says Godzilla. Ain't that the truth? Not. I hate having my trim all whacked out. Luckily, I do have a bunch of washers. It's not going to be black, so it's going to be noticeably different than the one that everybody else has in their kits, but it should work. All right, so the third time that I tried to install this thing, I dropped the washer, so I have a different one that I try and use. Shoot, it's too big. Yeah, it's too big. Well, that sucks. Oh, here it is. Found it. Send it to anodizing. There you go. All right, the last step, and I've dropped this now a couple times, is this washer. It's going to go in here. We're going to put this onto our servo, which the direction should be this way. This is not centered right now, and I don't have one of my servo centering things on here. So we're just going to kind of put it on now for the time being, and then we'll adjust it later when we get it on the actual car and have power to it. We'll center it up. there we go. So this is just going to mount onto the front end here. So we got to get one of these mounts. Screw this into place. We have missing screws that we don't have. Told us to use the wrong one. All right. It's amazing if these videos even ever come together. So much junk to edit out. How long have I been working on the kit? This is my second time, or second night. So a couple hours. All right. Got these 2 screws in here. Locks it on there like so. To be able to mount our servo right in there. Boom. This is just an extra one I have laying around. This whole servo is actually going to be removed in the actual build. But for the time being, it's going in there. All right, so we've got these bigger kind of, got these heads. You got these screws with the really large head. That's what's going to be used to hold the servo in place. 4 of them. And this part will be done. And so will I. Josh Rose, it's easier doing the live stream than doing a video. Totally. I had to go back and cut all this junk out because I don't need it. So once that's all done, basically you're going to line up your servo here. With the steering arm, and we're just going to screw this into place. Ooh. There we go. And now we'll be able to turn our monster truck. And save our servo, in theory, when you crash. I feel like they changed this. It used to have a big plastic piece around it because I've broken so many of them. I do remember that. But this looks like a little bit nicer one. It was tough to put together, that's for sure. But it does look better. All right, so that is where we're going to wrap up this one. And the next one we're going to be doing will be shocks video. But we do have our 2 axles with their links installed. All right, guys, that is where we're going to wrap up this video. We've got the 2 axles with the links and the servo installed. And the next video, we're going to be looking at the shocks, installing the shocks, and just kind of plugging along on this build, getting it done. So thanks for tuning in. As always, have fun RCing, guys, and we will catch you in the next video. That was like 28 minutes, guys, of fiddling with this stupid servo saver. Man. We're done for tonight with this. Wrap. We're going to call that a wrap. Later, guys. I'm actually going to stay on here and chat for a little bit. Just to de-stress. Great, my battery's running out of my mic up here, so it's probably going to mean that my audio is glitchy. So I'll probably have to dub the audio. It gets to the point where it's like, is it worth making this video at this point? It's a series, so you can't just skip part of it. Josh Rhodes could have got that servo stable together faster with the sledgehammer. That's right. I mean, that was no joke. Getting that to piece together. There's probably a trick to it. They didn't tell us the trick. The other question mark I have for the build, Riff Raff. So audio is going to be, I mean, for this camera here that I have off the screen. So I'm actually recording to do an edited short version of this video, so people don't have to watch me struggle. The 4 links and all that went in no problem. That was super easy. But this, like, it shows you these, and I guess it's obvious, but the shafts here, it shows you that it's got like different edges to it here. So it's going to be threaded on one, then it's got like a taper here, and then the threads. But it does not show you that when you're looking at it here at all. I mean, I guess it makes sense if you've built stuff before that that's where you're going to build all this junk and it's going to sit on that taper. But, and then, you know, you've also put on enough rod ends that you know that there's not a taper down where the rod end goes. But anyway, it would have been nice to have a better drawing of that piece right there, in my opinion. As somebody that's not, this is their first kit and they're looking at like, which side does this go on before they do it wrong? So anyway, just a thought. But this is my first axial build. The other builds have only been from tearing stuff down and rebuilding them. Redbeard Ron says he built a Cloudbuster a few weeks before my SMT10. The Cloud was much easier to do due to a clear manual. Okay. Yeah, and really the Cloudbuster, you know, the whole chassis is already assembled. You don't have to assemble it. The axles go together pretty easily in a Cloudbuster. I mean, there's a lot of gears that go in there, but it's pretty easy. But yeah. Redbeard Ron, that servo saver was the hardest part of my build as well. That's good to know, man. Oh, great. I said bye to everyone. Awkward, says Axial. Fake this out. I was just ending my video. So if I'm trying to do both. People wanted a live stream and people wanted the edited down video. So I've got my whole rig here with my monitors and all that I make the videos with. And that's just my little cheap monitor so I can see what the camera's seeing here. Then I can just look down and see it. But yeah, so I'm doing 2 things at once. I'm trying to do the build, but also trying to do the live. And that's why I kept redoing certain things and saying it over. Not because I wanted to, but because I needed to get it right for simplicity's sake over on the other camera. Split screen was cool. Yeah, so it's set up. I just have an old phone up there. And so I used the GoPro mount that, I can't say, let's take this up there. It's got some length. A GoPro like bike mount, and I clamped it to a microphone stand. And then I used the GoPro to I don't know what that is. Some kind of, it's like a threaded for shoot, what's it for? It's for like a tripod mount. And then that just screwed into the back of this iPhone clip on case. And it just clips onto this. So I just called myself into my own stream. Little cheater move. See the painter's tape on that wall? It's the other project we've got going on. Painting. Got painting stuff going on. Hey, here's more thread lock. That doesn't look like lip balm. So yeah, super cheap way of doing this. Battery's going low on this camera. Oh, that's my cell phone, my actual cell phone. Tell me I should go to bed too. But then, yeah, I just mount it up there. So it's a super cheap setup. I mean, old mic stand somewhere, get it used off of Facebook, and then get one of the GoPro clamps. It's an easy way to do it. There's other ways you can get clamps. Like technically, this clamp right here would do it. These are, you can get these on Amazon. This is a really expensive one. But this is just like, we call them Israeli arms, but that's the, like what we call them in the film industry. But it's just a threaded. So small rig makes a lot of stuff like this you can get on Amazon. And then you just need to have a clamp bracket here that clamps onto whatever you want above. And then it just gives you this mount to put on your or your phone bracket. So I could use this. Lots of ways you can do stuff. Lots of things. This is an Atom clip, ATOM by Impact, right here at the base, and they sell this separate from this. This is a Cine arm. This Cine arm's like $100 some for this stupid arm without this clamp on it, to get high end one. But if it's going to be holding my monitor, I don't want it to be a cheap one because that breaks off and falls. This thing falls. That's expensive. Expensive mistake. But yeah. Magic arm, that'd be a way you could call it. There's lots of different names for them. Put my animals back on here. But yeah, you know, it's kind of like the one that we use for the small rig that I use for mounting my iPhone onto my controller as well. That clamp would actually work as well now that I think about it. I have one of them here. I bought another one. This is, I liked it so much thanks to Tank RC telling me about it way back when. But you could literally use something like this as well. So I use this to clip it onto my controller. So you could just as easily clip this onto whatever stand you have above you or a piece of wood and then go from here. If you had ceiling rafters above you. See, Xavier? So that would be the other way you could do this. You might want to put some tape under it, but it's got a groove that'll go right under the bar. Like so. That's a $15 solution for doing that. You're welcome. Pipe and duct tape works. Charm do you use to mount your phone to the C clamp? Here we go. We'll do Tech Tuesday on a Monday. Take it off of here. I'll show you guys. So this piece came with an aftermarket type camera, and it just screws into a GoPro mount, and then it gives you this thread. And so then I just had that onto like a pipe clamp GoPro mount. I'll just put this back up so I don't lose it. But all I'm using is my phone bracket has a The audio just died because it was going through my phone. There we go. Is that better? We back? All right, we're back. The audio was all done through my phone. That is the one trick. The phone audio with StreamYard will not turn off. You can't mute it. Even if you turn down all the way, it still comes through. So I actually have to mute my main camera audio from my computer so I don't get echo craziness. So when that phone just died, I lost audio. But yeah, so that's basically the bracket mount, is using just my phone bracket. Has a screw mount on the back that I can screw either one of these into. I don't have a use for this other than this, so that's the way that I do it. You could use a C-stand. You could use all kinds of things to get this overhead view, honestly. You could take a tripod actually and just make the back leg longer so it angles it forward and then tape it down. All kinds of things. Microphone check, 1 2 1 2. So yeah. And then I actually have all my lights now hanging from the ceiling. They're mounted directly to the ceiling. And then this one actually is on a swivel to the wall. See how pretty my room is? It's just cords everywhere. My wife's like, what in the world? But I can just pull it in, or I can take it over and put it on the crawler track. Ta-da! Now it's lit up. Now you guys can see all my mess. We got more of the wrap stuff. Got a Hobby Plus I need to open, unbox. Lots of stuff to do. Yeah, and it gets that light out of my way so when I'm walking. However, it was nice to get rid of the stands, but now I actually walk into these all the time. Like I'll just turn into them because the stand is what is the visual that you see. Moss must love my setup. Just don't let them in the house. Tell them they're not allowed. Go to your own home, moth. That's what I do. All right, throw away the Vanquish instructions, clean up a little bit here so I'm ready to move on to my favorite part, shocks. Yeah. Did anyone get hurt in the explosion? What explosion? Put all these parts that I was talking about earlier into this bag, so I have them. So what do you guys, oh, explosion of all the RC parts? Yeah. Just my pride when my wife comes in and tells me about what a mess it is. It's pretty bad right now. I did get the garage cleaned up though, so there's that. So it's a start. One of two places I've worked on. No, I'm not going to do the shocks now. Oh, no. I'm done. Shocks are a pain. I know I'll be another hour. It's already 1 o'clock. I'm just trying to clean up so that I'm ready when I need to go to the shocks. You guys know how many of these arms I have here? I probably have 20 plus of these in my bin of parts for the SMT10s. So many. Maybe not quite. Close. There's a lot. Hey, Hellride16, you are way late. for SRC. It is a pretty nice space. I am not going to lie. I might have the best part in the house. Best space in the house. One o'clock quarantine time is still early. Yeah, you don't have to get up as early. Some of us just have to get up to get to the computer. Don't have to get the kids ready for school. But I've pulled a lot of 3 a.m. nights recently. And that getting up at even 7:30 to be working by 8 is tough. This is the gaff tape. Awesome tape right here, Pro Gaff. It's expensive. It's like 20 bucks a roll. Film stuff is so expensive. When is the cage going to be built? That's toward the end. So basically, I've got to get the shocks done. Should have left that camera going. Oh, the battery was dead. Build the transmission. Mount the motor. That's easy stuff. I've done that so many times now. Build the drive shafts. I've never actually done that. The ready to runs are already built. And if they're not, then I build the MIPs. And then we build the chassis. So I've got a few different things that I'm doing for my chassis. So I do have the RH Designs wheelie bar we'll be installing with it. And I have different headers than these Zoomies. More like the MagnaFlow downturn collected pipes. So that's, and I don't think I'm going to put on the body posts. I think I'm going to do Velcro. And then the last part is putting the transmission case in and then assembling it all. Comes with the SCX-10-2 raw builder's kit transmission. Well, the raw builder's kit, I think, for the SCX-10-2 is a 2-speed. So this is like the old school SCX-10, more like the ready to run one, or the original SCX-10, I think. A single speed. And I'm pretty sure that the 2 kit had a 2-speed, at least the option of a 2-speed. Where did I find the MagnaFlow pipes? They're all over Shapeways, but I get them, got these ones. Monster Parts has them on Shapeways as well, I found. These ones, when I got the wheelie bar, I got them from RH Designs. They're really like a shiny plastic. Whatever you use is really glossy. So other ones I've gotten from the Scale King. I have some of his up there. I've got, you can grab those. They're a little different. Yeah, here we are. Everybody's got their own little take on it, I believe. So these ones are pretty close. I guess I gotta hold them up here. They collect a little differently. This one's got a bigger pipe at the end. And then these ones I got from Monster Parts, and these are like the Zoomies. But these are downward, which is evidenced by the MP for Monster Parts tag on it. So yeah, I've got several. These were supposed to go onto my Son of a Digger metal chassis, but it didn't have the mounting plates for them, screw holes. So I got to figure out a different way to mount them. And one thing I don't have is time trying to figure things out. So got too many projects going on. Like this, you guys can see it. I'll show you. Is Josh Rhodes still in here? The other thing I did today was I was fighting my my podcast setup went haywire. So I've been trying to get that working again. So this is my Can-Am. This is my new Can-Am body. It's going to go on there. Grade Digger Racing. Go right on the top there. Looks super cool. Then this cage. So that'll get changed out, airbrushed by Darkside. But I also have to take this apart. That's the other part of the project is I got to spray paint these green, and these have to get dyed black instead of red. Even though there is red in the Digger logo, it could work. Could go with this red, and I'd be all right. But they don't have red trailing arms. So got a new spur gear for the Mini T 2.0. And then I got these in the mail the other day. Little minis. So, new stickers from, who do I get my stickers done by? Somebody. Good price too. So lots of stuff working on. See who that is. I say stickers. If it pulls up somebody. Vinyl Disorder, that's it. But yeah. Anyway, enough about me. What about you guys? Hats. Ordering new hats. That is in the plan. So I need to email her. That's a separate thing. With all this quarantine stuff, it got weird. But I did have an email out to her about getting more done. So I need to follow up. I'm going to get more of the camel hats made up. A lot of people seem to like the camel hats. So I wasn't sure. What are you going to do with that Typhon? JRambo or JRam02. I'm going to jump it. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna jump it. I actually charged up batteries for it to run it today. A couple of my Graphene Venom 3S batteries, and it rained. By the time I was done working, it was raining. Might try doing some speed stuff. Ooh, Axial's announcing that they've got an overdrive set coming. Yeah, HD gears for a rig that uses high pinion gears. Interesting. So that's overdrive the Axials. Cool. Jason Saunders wants to know, were you running the knuckles at middle clocked on axle? I have the knuckles rotated all the way. All the way. So they're at the very front. So they're clocked. So they'll be sitting at this angle. Ish. Axel, do you get some of the Venom batteries pre-release? I tried finding some graphenes you showed, but couldn't find them. No, those are out on the market. Those have been out for almost a year. They may be hard to get right now. A lot of batteries are hard to get right now because of the virus. Let me see if I can pull them up. At least on their site they had them. So I'm going to car, truck, boat, buggy. So let me see here. Give me 1 second. This one. All right, so let's see. Control F. Graphene. Here they are. That's not the one I wanted. So they're in there. If you go to LiPo batteries and you choose car, truck, buggy, boat. And then I just did F and then start typing in graphene. And you can see they've got the graphene right here, 50C, 5,000 milliamp hour. And they got the 35C, and then they've got a 2S right here, 25C. Any more here? Nope, not on that page. I think those are it. Wait. So yeah, look like those ones were the ones. I know that's what I'm running is the 2S 25C graphene and then the 50C. I have 2 of these now, so I can run them 6S. They sent me one of them, each of them to test, and I went and got another of the 50C so I could run them as 6S. Each of them to test. Whoa. And I went and got another. I was trying to look at the comments here on Facebook. Tyler Hopwood, can I share it to Axial Group or does it violate the rules? Nope, you're free to share. I don't know why I must have missed that pop-up earlier. Redbeard Ron, my favorite battery right now is the Gens Ace Adventure 3S Shorty 4300. Running his Clod. I'm really liking those Venom Shorty packs. I run those in my Clod Busters, and they fit in my Capra as well. And they fit in my Freestyle Pro C. I just don't do the bullet plug. I don't like bullets. I don't know why I'm kind of freaky about the plug-ins being out and tapping on stuff. I don't know. Travis Paul, did you put a fan on the front of the Typhon? Nah, I'm not going. If I'm gonna put anything, I'm gonna put like wings on the side. If I'm gonna do a fan, and then hit a jump, turn on the inducted fans with the wings, and see if it'll fly. Picture the SMT10 with primal raminator wheels on it. You wouldn't be able to get 4 wheels on it. They're so big that it's almost the size of the SMT10. They are huge wheels. I can't even explain to people that have not seen the Raminator in person. It is just larger than you expect it to be by a lot. So Travis, I will get in an order for hats, man. No, the batteries don't have any leads, Godzilla. I just imagine me having like one of them in and then the wire dropping and hitting something and whatever. I'm just kind of freaky. I haven't run them enough to get comfortable with it. I had it on the Pro C and I took them off and put XC60s on. Mainly so I could run those Venom crawl packs. I should be going to sleep right away now that I'm drinking caffeine. Yeah, Venom doesn't have they came back with the shorty pack for crawlers, but not for like buggies and stuff, which was interesting because they could have made it a crawl pack that just had leads in it that you could either put in, plug in, or just take them out and people could tap in direct, but they didn't. Trying to kill any coronavirus that might be in me. When I traveled around the world and there was diseases and everything going on, I never really got food poisoning or anything, probably because I was drinking Coke when I was there to kill whatever was going in. Scottzilla takes whatever Trail Critter says wrong. I missed what Trail Critter said. Oh, Coke for the win. Oh. I see. Different Coke. Alrighty, guys. This has been fun, but I do need to go to bed so I can get up and get to work. Tomorrow, I'm probably not going to continue working on the SMT10 because I really want to get this project going. I have the RIT die finally sitting down on a shelf in the kitchen waiting for me to use it for this. I also have two new, because we have 3 of these now so that me and the boys can all race them. I have 2 other clear bodies, and so Darkside is really slammed right now, but my goal is to let the boys choose what bodies they want to run. And one of them wants Max D Fire, and the other one I think wants Soldier of Fortune. But letting them choose and getting them all done up and having Monster Jam Speedsters, it's going to be killer. Not my idea. Although when I did see these, I did think it would have been cool to do the Gravedigger one because they already had the licensing. But it was Mike Eaton who talked about having a whole race of them being Monster Jam trucks. Alrighty, guys. Well, I'm going to head out, and we will catch you later. I don't know if I'm doing RC Conspiracies or what tomorrow. If my system is still down, I don't know. I guess I could do it kind of like this, but the other setup just went wonky. My cloud lifter, I think, died, and it's just like the most awful noises coming through the microphone. So we'll see. Can always go bare bones again with it. Make it a build one. Yeah, Ryan's RC armor shirt. I just bought this at Horizon Hobby online, but I think Hobby Town and other people even online sell them. You can go in and get them. But yeah, they have low C. They have, if you go to Horizon Hobby, they got, and you just type in t-shirts or hats or something like that. You can find all the different apparel. That's where I bought my Axial hat. I bought an Arma hat. I bought a Spectrum hat there. No, a Spectrum hat I got for free. I won one of their Facebook Live question and answer things, and it came with the Avion ESC. So yeah. So we'll see if there's conspiracy stuff going on or not. It might be a build conspiracy. So anyway, we'll see if there's real conspiracy stuff hitting the hitting the internet tomorrow. We'll talk. But right now, I think everybody's just trying to hold things together. I mean, Horizon is doing all of their own live streams, giving us everything like detailed builds and all that, which is really cool. that they're doing that. So we're getting lots of cool info already hitting the webs. Everybody's live streaming, and I haven't quite seen any new info. So unless you guys have, we'll see. Gossip from a friend that Traxxas is working on a new X-Max. That'd be interesting. V3. All right, guys, I'm going to check out. We'll catch you later. Thanks for tuning in, as always. Hopefully you saw the stuff that I did wrong with this build, and that will help you do your build better. So there you go. That's all I got to say about that. Catch you guys later.